There were a lot of questions around Victor Wembanyama's offensive game, as well as his position as the front-runner for the 2023 NBA Draft's first pick, before the exhibition games against the G League Ignite. But after the games, they have all been answered. The top prospect to come out of France came on American soil for his games against Ignite, and it is safe to say that he exceeded all expectations. That might seem impossible for a player who has been tagged as a generational talent. The defensive impact has always been known when it came to Wembanyama, but the offensive package he displayed in those games was even better and more vast than many realized. We've seen players over 7 foot knock down 3-pointers before, but Wembanyama is making them in ways that we've only seen from a few top-rated NBA players, and never from a player who's 7'2" or somewhere around there. Victor is capable of doing the simple pick and pop or catch and shoot, which is very valuable with his release point. And he doesn't stop there. He can go off the dribble to his left or right. He was making shots with movement in transition, with a 1 or 2 step going left to right or right to left. It was in the second of the 2 games against Ignite, where Wembanyama really wowed with a right corner 3 off the dribble, while having to turn his lower body and pull up a variety 3-pointers from well beyond the line that showed off his range. But Victor doesn't settle for just being a stretch big though, because again, we've seen taller players being able to stretch the floor and knock down shots. It's not so unusual to see these days. Wembanyama is able to take his offensive game inside the 3-point line as well. His mid-post and mid-range game is truly fun to watch. With the little footage of him that we have, there have already been multiple instances of the Kevin Durant swipe through to draw fouls and force defenders' hands away from his body. This gives him the ability to get into a square-up jump shot pretty much anytime he wants, which is essentially unblockable, let alone contestable. Wembanyama continued to push the boundaries of what we knew about his offensive game, as he knocked down a fadeaway jumper after recognizing the double team coming. The full package continued with a quick baseline spin, a face-up step back, and even a shoulder shimmy into another fadeaway. Even when he missed a shot, you can't help but be intrigued and confident in this dude's potential and growth. The part of Wembanyama's offensive package that still requires some growth though is attacking downhill off the bounce, although he definitely shown improvement in that area since last season. His handles are fluid and advanced, especially for someone at his size, even though it looks a bit loose at times. He has the jumper to force hard closeouts, but at times, he just settles for not continuing his driving line all the way to the rim. While we should keep our eye out for continued improvement, he did flash a few straight-line drives where he pushed through the contact for the bucket, or even got fouled and got himself to the free throw line. Now, there are some other areas worth mentioning where he can further develop. I mean, everyone's got those. His overall strength will need to continue to improve for those straight-line drives, but also to help with some of his post-ups. If he undergoes a transformation, let's say similar to the one Giannis has when he joined the NBA, the league's really in trouble. There were also some situations where he got knocked off balance when trying to operate in the lane. Not using his left hand on a finish or two also stood out, where it seemed like that would have been the obvious choice. But he's got all the time to improve, and it's not an overwhelming worry that could possibly keep him from being the #1 pick. It's just something to note and watch for throughout the rest of his 2022 to 2023 professional season.